Math teacher needing help. Am I wrong? What should I do? Well, the world is in luck because 4th grade math quiz man here, and we're gonna crack the case. OP, the teacher, marked a 4th grade student's answer wrong on this math quiz. The student explained his answer to his father, who then reached out for the teacher to potentially make a correction and improve the son's score. This all caused a wee bit of a stir. And I understand all the arguing over this problem because I completely agreed with the teacher that the problem is clear at first. But while writing the script for this video, I absolutely flipped to the other perspective. And now that I've trashed that first version of the script, let's dig in. The student and father apparently think that C is the best answer. The teacher, on the other hand, thinks the question is clear and the correct answer is A. So, the question, who is right? As we'll see, nobody. Let's take a look at the actual problem. We have 3 students, Mateo, Maria, and Sonia, and the question wants us to determine which of these 3 students are making correct statements. Here is the situation they are stating upon. In science class, the students collected 17 seeds. The teacher says they must put the seeds into jars so that each jar has the same number of seeds, and no seeds are left over. There are only 6 jars available. So then here are the students' 3 statements on this situation. You get the idea. The question is basically just 17 divided by 6. If we have 17 seeds, how do we evenly distribute them among 6 jars? Disregarding the snide answer of you put 17/6 of a seed in each jar, it's clear there isn't a way to do this because 6 is not a factor of 17. So there's no way to evenly distribute 17 seeds among the 6 jars. But the problem isn't exactly about the division, but what the 3 students said about the division. So let's look at their 3 statements. Sonia said if we get 3 more seeds, we can do the task. I'm surprised her statement is wrong. It really has the form of what I would think would be a correct answer. It's just funny because it's flirting with the idea that the number of seeds needs to be changed for this to work, but it doesn't actually include the right number. 6 isn't a factor of 20 either, so it kinda misses the point. If we had 7 more seeds, then yes, we could do the task, but 3 more, no. 6 isn't a factor of 20, so Sonia is not correct. But let's take a look at what Maria said. Maria said we can use 5 jars with 3 seeds in each jar. What the heck? This answer is horrible too. Like, I would expect 3 tiers of potential statements from the hypothetical students that form this exercise. A student who is just wrong. Like, we can put 3 seeds in each of the 6 jars. They get what we're trying to do, but they're just off by 1. That would make sense. A student who hits on a key detail, but is still wrong. Like Sonia, who realizes the number of seeds could be increased to make this work, but gets the number wrong. And of course, I'd expect at least 1 student who is right, either correctly stating why this distribution of seeds is not possible, or stating what could be changed so that it is possible. But Maria here, it's like she didn't even read the question, which I just think makes it a very odd response to include in this format. We need to evenly distribute the same number of seeds through the 6 jars. So no, we can't use 5 jars. Finally, Mateo, our last hope, says it is impossible because 17 is a prime number. And this is not correct either. 17 seeds can't be spread evenly among 6 jars, but that's not because 17 is prime. If there was just 1 jar, then guess what, Mateo? It works, even though 17 is prime. If there were 17 jars... there are 17 jars. I don't need 17 jars. But it is just enough to fit 17 seeds. As we said before, the task is impossible because 6 is not a factor of 17. If prime numbers were just numbers with no factors whatsoever, then Mateo's response would be correct. But prime numbers, by definition, have exactly 2 factors. Of course, the fact that 17 is prime is relevant, and you could quickly extend this fact to justify that the task is not possible. For example, example, 17 being prime and 6 being less than 17 but greater than 1 implies 17 isn't divisible by 6. But we can't say Mateo is correct just because his reasoning is almost there. Now, remember what the teacher said. The teacher thinks option A is correct, and option A is that the only correct student is Mateo. So at this point, we've already established that the teacher, OP, is incorrect. And before you give the teacher any grief, the resolution to her story, I think, is that she removed the problem and recalculated the students' grades accordingly. And good thing, since, like we just said, every single student's statement is incorrect, which means there is not a correct answer to this question. But not only that, the problem isn't even clear. The big point of debate from the student, his father, and the Ask Math community concerns the 6 jars. Must all 6 jars be used, or could we use fewer than 6 jars, like Maria had suggested in her statement? A close reading of the problem immediately seems to imply that we must use all 6 jars, since it says each jar has the same number of seeds. Hence, if one jar had no seeds, all the jars would have no seeds. In which case we obviously haven't distributed the 17 seeds. But let's look at what some other people thought. Doesn't help that Maria is suggesting using 5 jars. This was also one of my thoughts. It implies that fewer jars can be used. And I gotta say, I totally disagree with that. If Maria saying that we can use 5 jars implies that we can use 5 jars, does Sonia saying that if we can get 3 more seeds we can do the task imply that 20 is divisible by 6? Just because a statement is said doesn't mean it's true. That's the whole point of the exercise. Well, it's true the problem doesn't explicitly say that all 6 jars must be used. It's clearly implied since each jar needs to have the same number of seeds. But then, does each jar really refer to each of the 6 jars? Or does it refer only to the jars we choose to put seeds in? Phrasing it as available is really bad. It does absolutely suggest that there is a selection of jars, up to 6 jars, happening. And you know, that's a good point. If we look at the question again, at the end, it says that there are only 6 jars available. And putting available here is a completely unnecessary word that only makes the problem less clear. It'd be more clear if it said there are only 6 jars. Or even better if it said the teacher says they must put the seeds into 6 jars so that each jar has the same number of seeds. Just a little bit of rewriting would have made it completely unambiguous that all 6 jars must be used. Dark Thunder 312 thinks the question is clear as written, arguing it says each jar, not each jar that contains seeds. It is not ambiguous. And again, I agreed with him at first, but after rereading the question, I really think it's unclear, specifically because it doesn't mention anything about the 6 jars until the very end. So when we first read each jar, the only jars that have been mentioned are the jars that we're putting seeds into. That on top of the fact, when the question finally does mention 6 jars at the end, it does so with the weak language of saying they are available. Combine that with Maria suggesting using 5 jars. Even Sonia's answer about having additional seeds suggests we can use fewer than 6 jars. Since 3 more seeds would bring us up to 20, which doesn't have 6 as a factor, but it does have several other factors like 2, 5, 4, and 10, 3 of which are less than 6. I think even Mateo's answer suggests we can use fewer than 6 jars, because 17 being a prime number isn't that relevant if we have to use 6 jars. But if 6 jars are available, then 17 being prime is almost the exact correct explanation as for why the task isn't possible, with the only fault in the explanation being the possibility of stuffing all 17 seeds into a single jar. With all this evidence, I'm beginning to think that the problem isn't ambiguous, and we obviously can use fewer than 6 jars. As we discussed, assuming we must use all jars, none of the statements are correct, which means none of the answer choices are either. If instead it's the case that 6 jars are available for us to use as we see fit, then Mateo and Maria are both still wrong for basically the same reasons as before, but Sonia, God bless her, is actually right. Of course, like we said, if we can use fewer than 6 jars, then 1 jar will do, because we can just put all the seeds in that 1 jar. Then, technically, every jar that we used has the same number of seeds. It's 1 jar with 17 of them. So we certainly don't need 3 additional seeds to make it possible in that situation. However, Sonia is still technically right. We can do the task now, but if we get 3 more seeds, well, we could do the task then also. And while that might just seem correct on a technicality, in math, being technically right is the point. Of course, having 20 seeds would also let us complete the task in less trivial ways, like putting 4 seeds each into 5 jars. Hence, the right answer is that only Sonia is correct. But the problem is such a disaster that there's not even an option for this, the only arguably correct response. Apprehensive Sign 72 raised another good point. It says that no seeds are left over. If all of the jars have to be used, why doesn't it say no jars are left over? Dark Thunder 312, perhaps the most ardent supporter of the 6-jar theory, says each jar. There is no more words. It means each jar. That's what the word each means. It doesn't say no jars are left over because it doesn't need to. But I think this completely misses the point of communication. It doesn't need to? Why does it need to say that no seeds are left over? Isn't they must put the seeds into jars enough? The seeds obviously refers to the 17 seeds. They need to put all the seeds into jars. There's no need to say that no seeds are left over, but the author thought it was necessary to include for clarity. We're talking about a bilingual classroom with 4th grade students that are guaranteed to have some different interpretations wherever there may be some ambiguity. And if everybody's confused, then guess what? That means they needed to specify if all jars must be used or not. That's the whole point of communicating, for people to understand what you mean. This disagreement goes on. Arrogant, rude, and wrong. Perfect Redditor. Dark Thunder 312 replies, anyone literate would understand what it means. And I agree. The issue is that understanding isn't going to be the same for everyone, which is a failure of the problem statement. Just one more here. Ribozymer says, it says put seeds into jars so that each jar referring to the ones you put seeds into would be reasonable. But Underthingy counters. No, it wouldn't. Dirt Choice 5 parries. Yes, it would. It is at the very least ambiguous. Then Underthingy uses a finisher. Nope, the intent is clear. This is such a silly argument. If you're showing up to a debate about the meaning of something, how are you going to argue that the meaning is clear? If it's clear, then what's all the arguing for? This would be like Impressive Mud 5074 showing up to a debate about infinity and arguing not that infinity doesn't exist, but that people who believe in infinity don't exist. A point many people bring up in this discussion is the definition of each, and that each jar means all jars. So of course we need to use all of the jars. But nobody is disputing that each means all. The question is, each member of what group? All jars from what group? We're not talking about every jar in the world here, are we? Because a jar is basically just a vessel. Are we expecting the children to find the stolen art from the 1990 Gardner Museum heist, retrieve the stolen Chinese goo from the Dutch room, and stuff a seed in it for their math quiz? Well, today, my math homework brings us to the site of the greatest unsolved art heist in history as we begin our search for the final jar. Riverside Drive held me up when the first man I loved died, when I could only say I love you through sobs and say I'll miss you. Last time I was in talking shells out of the shotguns, someone with a much bigger